Hello everyone, this is Gorax with another Season 4 Endgame Boss video. I know for some of us the boss has ended, but some of us are still fighting against it, and some of us will come a little bit later and fight the boss. Now, I'm probably covered most of the teams that I've done, but I skipped the rally, I skipped a few other teams I'm going to cover now after obviously everything is done. So Rally is quite hard to pull off here. I mean, it's not hard when it comes to avoiding the debuff immunity as we have multiple heroes, but it is not doing good damage, even when you have good heroes. As you can see, my Rally team that is visible to you did over 120 million, which was the lowest of mine, and I dropped that team. But this team is also not perfect. Since it was my lowest damage team, I used weaker supports. If you have Filto, if you have Philandor, those will work here as well. The boss is really melee friendly. You can use all sorts of damage dealers. First, I'll go over the team, the skill timings, and then we'll talk about the replacements that will be beneficial for you if you have them. And also, we'll talk about the free-to-play variant of this team. Now we start with supports. As you know, against this boss we need someone with debuff immunity. Mithracy was the only one left for me as I used Asila and Catherine in other teams. So if you have them, you can easily replace Mithracy as long as you have a healer with the debuff block. And if you look at the lightning radiance, we have plenty. You can use Asila in this team. You can use Catherine, and Catherine works really well here, as with Catherine you can bring in Garius instead of Maashtur here, and this team will be able to survive the whole 8 minutes, which gets us to the second support in a second once we cover the equipment. So Mithracy, Solar King Horn, she helps with recovery over time. Obviously, if you're trying to run the 500 million and 1 billion team, you will want Mithracy there. But if you don't, that was the spot for Mithracy before I booted my rally team and replaced it with the 500 million variant. And if you decide to play with Catherine, you can build her in similar fashion. She won't have as much healing as Mithracy, but the horn will still work really well on her. Although you need to make sure she is not the highest HP unless you build her with high resistance. But this is why I brought in Maashtur here with Witch's Remain and enough haste to go on 15-second rotation. That is quite important. Maashtur regenerates his ultimate energy through his passive, so he can cope with the 15-second rotation of a rally team despite having 17.6 cooldown, okay? So Lorentheel is mandatory if you want to achieve good damage with rally team, as he is the best source of rally for your team. So we built Lorentheel offensively, downpipe organ, as much attack percentage on equipment as you can, wherever you can, and attack runes as well. Actually, I went for crit damage here to get extra damage from that. If you don't have that crit damage with good attack percentage, go for attack percentage. It will work as well. Now, you need to make sure you have 0 haste on Lorentheel to be able to pull out the 15-second rotation, okay? If you have 5 haste, it won't work, as he grants rally whenever he's got full ultimates, okay? So that's why we go with 0. We want 0 haste on him. Very important, because then you'll desync and you'll try to figure out why. It's because you have some haste on Lorentheel. Then Huberg with Poison of Swamp, Shade of Death set. Make sure you have over 200% crit rate and Precise Carnage gloves. Then we have Alton with the Flute, and again similar, to over 200% crit with Shade of Death and basically damage oriented. Alton will outdamage Huberg here. But if you have Filto, feel free to use Filto. There's no reason not to. If you got him, he will do more damage than Huberg. So your replacement will look something like, as you can see, I don't even have Filto. But let's assume this is Filto. So Filto instead of Huberg, and that will boost your damage. Then if you have Philandor, you'll probably want to boot filter and put in Philander as well. As I said, when it comes to the replacement for Lorentheel, there's not many, okay? You can try someone like Alvis, Hegio, etc., but that will only give rally to a single hero, so it's not good. I would probably suggest if you don't have Lorentheel, just skip rally, build something else, wild, burn, that will do way better. Okay, but with Lorentheel you can build it. And when it comes to Maashtur, the replacement for Maashtur is plenty. As I said, you can run Garius and Catherine, and they will make the fight whole. They will survive the whole battle if you do it like this. Okay. But the issue here is you'll need to put Alton with Witches Remain, which will reduce your damage. Before we go any further, let's talk about the skill timings. So Mithracy 23.5 to avoid the debuffs that the boss gives us. And then, as you can see, 15-second rotation on everyone else, as Maashtur can keep up with him. And he applies a lot of debuffs and grants control immunity as well. Very good for this boss. 15-second rotation, we start with Maashtur, obviously, to apply defense down, then Lorentheel, and shortly after our damage dealers. And that would stay for any variant of the team that you use. And again, as I said, if you can't really afford anything like that, I think that's the best budget-friendly team you can do when it comes to the supports. Damage-wise, if you want really to do any kind of damage here and you still want to use Rally, your options are very limited, okay? You'll use Hegio, move him somewhere here. You will use Welby, still very powerful hero, and hopefully you have Lorentheel. If you don't have Lorentheel, your choices are low. As I said, he's given a rally based off his auto attack, so you can build him with the new attack speed set and he'll do it quite often. Plus Hegio will help Welby as well, and this will work really, really well as well. You can build Taflin in this case with Witches Remains as well, and I would say this is the budget rally team you can pull off, but I'm not 100% certain you will do a lot of damage with it. And yeah, this is my rally team. That team was doing 120 million. Sadly, it has been replaced by the broken team because there was no reason not to, since I already have Mithracy, so I replaced it with a team that does over 500 million. Now, for those of you who did the boss already and you had Filto and Philander, please let us know in the comment section how your team did, so that those who are still looking to deal with the boss, who haven't done it yet, we'll learn from you, and this is where we can share knowledge within the community. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please click the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. As always, thank you for watching, stay safe, bye!